Well, hello to all of you, and welcome to what I believe could be the last video audio of this series in meeting me on the beach at sunset. You never know with these things because, as I said in some of my previous audio recordings, I only give out messages as they're inspired. And when I'm ready and I feel like the message is fulfilled inside of me in full, then I go ahead and I give it. And, you know, it just goes with the flow. And I believe that that's the way that life is really supposed to be. So at least that's how I like to have my life be. So in this particular walk on the beach, we are standing at the end of the beach and at the edge of the water. At this point, the sun has completely vanished from our view. And as we know, the sun is not moving, we're moving, but according to how we visually see it, it appears that the sun has disappeared and it's set over the horizon. Now, at this very moment in our walk together, we're just holding hands and looking out at the horizon. It's become very, very dark, and we're just kind of stepping along the edge of the sand and kind of at the water's edge, just enjoying the moment where everything begins to become dark and all of the sky is illuminated. And at this very moment, there's not a cloud in the sky. So all of the stars and the moon are visible, those beautiful planets at a distance. And these are the beautiful lesser lights, according to what scriptures say, that come out at night, or we seem to visualize at night. But I don't believe they're lesser lights. I just can't believe they're lesser. I believe that they are glimmers of hope, twinkles of hope in the darkness. I believe that without hope, our life is empty and difficult, and there comes to a point where there's just, a feeling of despair when we don't have hope, and hope isn't alive. Isn't that right? I mean, don't you feel that way? That when you have no hope, you feel like there's nothing left to be here for? So to me, in these moments of darkness, when time is dark and those beautiful stars and the moon is out and those distant planets are shining, those are the almost like fireflies in the night. We have these glimpses of hope when we're reaching toward our dream, toward our vision, toward that destiny that we have in mind for ourselves, and whatever it is we want to manifest and create in our lives. We have the beautiful lights, and I don't believe they're lesser lights. They are so important. They show up in our lives as people, as circumstances, as synchronicities, as glimpses of maybe just what is about to be. Maybe someone will read something and it will kind of register in our minds. Oh my goodness, that's exactly what I've been thinking of, what I've been dreaming of. These are glimpses of hope. These are the stars in the middle of the nighttime. And in this dark place, in this womb of creation where everything is possible, birthing is beginning to happen. And we know, because this is what has happened for, we don't even know how many thousands and thousands of years, the sun is going to come out again. In other words, it will show up on the other side and the light will come and shine again. We know this to be true. And it's exactly the same with manifesting our dreams, with manifesting the things that we desire in our lives. universal law is standard. God is standard. Whether you call that beautiful, loving power God or the source of creation, whatever you choose to label, all-powerful one, we know that we can rely on that power. We can rely on that love. We can rely on that ability to create, because that spark lives within us, right? And we've come to know and understand that it is reliable. We've learned over time, since the time of our birth, we know that we're going to stand up and walk at some point. Now, I realize some babies, they don't end up walking the same way, or maybe they may not, or sometimes lives are cut a little short and we don't understand completely all of the facets of that. But that's a part of life, and that's a part of our dream as well. Sometimes our dreams are cut. Sometimes it feels like we're really manifesting and things will stop and we're not walking any longer. But that's where the trust in the universe and the ability for that divine love and that divine power to support us and to be able to trust ourselves becomes very important, because that's when we're growing and we learn to become strong. It's also a place of patience. It's a development and a birthing of patience in our process and in our lives. Patience is so important, and until you learn the lesson of patience in your process, you will have to learn it and learn it and learn it. Remember the caterpillar inside of the cocoon? If we become impatient and break open that cocoon, we have a crippled butterfly, correct? So it's the exact same thing with our dream, with our destiny, with our purpose, whatever we're working on, whatever we're manifesting. If we don't have patience and we try to sidestep or we try to force things that cannot be forced, we're going to cripple the dream. Okay, so that's a big lesson, patience in the process. Okay, so the other one is, this will help your patience. Delay does not mean that your dream is not manifesting. Delay is not denial. And I don't know where I've heard that. I don't know who, coined that phrase, but I just really, truly believe that is brilliant, because knowing that helps us in our process of patience especially, but it also helps us to understand, once again, everything in life is changing. It changes every single moment of the day. Our cells are changing in our bodies. We're being renewed. We're being changed. Changes are going on out in the universe, out in the world. Things we may not even be aware of. They're happening. There's always flux. That's something we can always depend upon, is change. So as we're looking at our dreams, as we are manifesting whatever it is, maybe it's a portion of our business, maybe it's a new business, maybe it is a new family, or maybe it's a new relationship, a new facet of life, something that you've always wanted to do, something that makes your life worthwhile. Maybe it's giving to the rest of the world, or maybe a small portion. It doesn't have to be global. Whatever you do and you dream, it could be a big dream to give to a few people and just have a circle of people that you enhance their lives. So whatever it might be, know that your dream is not always going to be stationary. It's not always going to be out there like, let me look for the right words. It's not a non-flexible board that can't bend. It is a bendable, flexible dream, which means during those moments of patience, where we'll have to wait upon certain facets of our lives to change, maybe things to just kind of shift. Maybe we are waiting for some of the changes that are supposed to take place during that time. Our dream is flexible, and this is another very, very important lesson to know and to understand, is that your dream will never completely stay exactly the same as it was when you first kind of put it out there and maybe wrote it down or created a vision board about it, or whatever you felt inside of your heart. Your dream is going to change as time goes on. Now, some things, they manifest a lot quicker, and thank God for some of that, right? That really brings us hope. For those of us who don't have patience, it's a godsend, but we still have to learn the lesson. For some of the bigger things, some of the things that are just lifelong dreams and things that will take some time, just know that being flexible means it gives an opportunity for that dream to change, to shift, along with the rest of consciousness, along with the rest of the world and how it shifts, around the rest of your world and how it might change or shift. So, as you grow as well, your dream is going to grow. Your dream is going to change. Your purpose and your passions are going to change. We're not the same as we were 10 years ago, and we're not going to be the same 10 years from now. So during that time of patience, when it seems like things are dark, remember, it's not denial. Give that moment that seems like you're in the void an opportunity to shift your dream, to listen very carefully to whatever consciousness is telling you, whatever your higher self might be telling you, whatever God, the Creator, whatever the universe might be wanting to bring to you, your spiritual guidance, your support, however you operate. Allow that time to perfect patience, number one, but also to show you where your dream is going to have a little bit of flux and a little bit of change. Remember, when you look in the mirror today, you're not going to look the same when you look in the mirror 10 years from now. We change in our bodily organization, the way that we are put together, the way that we present ourselves to the world. It is a given. We go from a baby, we grow up, we get older. We're going to change. Well, thankfully, our dream is not going to get old as long as we stay patient in the passion, right? But it's not going to look exactly the same in the mirror as time goes on. We evolve as people. We meet new people who bring new thoughts and ideas into our lives. We grow as we learn. If you're a real big reader like I am, you're going to learn new things. And so you think, maybe I should forget this part of my dream and bring in this part, which really kind of juices it up a little bit, right? So while we're in this time of darkness, with just those glimmers of hope coming along and showing us that yes, things are still working, things are still there to be hopeful for, remember, number one, it's not denial. Your purpose, your passion, your dreams, whatever you're manifesting is still there. It's coming. It's coming towards you. You love it. You desire it. And here it is. You imagine it. You can feel it. You can taste it. But during those moments of new birth, remember that it gives you an opportunity to allow your dream to change and to be in flux and to be in the flow, and let it grow with you. Just grow with it and let it grow with you. It makes that dark night not seem so dark. You know, we have this phrase that we coined, a dark night of the soul, and it seems like it's agonizing, like nothing is happening in life, and oh my goodness, how did I get here? I just don't believe that that is a horrible place to be. I believe it's a beautiful space of new inception, something that happens in our lives that gives us an opportunity to change our dream, to change maybe the way we think and feel about things, maybe the way that we believe, maybe some things that need to change inside of us in order for our dream to be manifest. You know, the biggest transformation that takes place is inside of us. So embrace that change. Be honest with yourself. Allow the dark time, the dark night, bring you a time of reflection. But don't stop looking for the stars. Don't stop reaching for them. Don't stop taking their encouragement, because they're there for you if you continue to look. Now, I know that we're going to get to the point where the sun's going to be coming up on the other side, rising in the east, and of course, we are changing. The world is the one that's moving, but the way we perceive it is the sun's coming up on the other side of the horizon, and it comes up very, very gently, doesn't it? Not all at once, it comes up gently. But that means that I really do believe that I'm going to be adding another video and audio, because there's a special message that comes with the rising of the sun. I want you to just, if you will, take this opportunity to allow patience to be perfected into your life, and also to remember that during this time, if you have a lag time before things are happening and you don't see anything happening, allow yourself to understand that this is the perfect moment for your dream to shift and be perfected, for your life internally to shift and be perfected. And I know that you're going to achieve everything, receive everything that you possibly even want, desire, or could possibly dream of. But if you lose patience and you try to force something, you may lose out on something that you really, really do want and desire in your life, or want to give. Maybe it's a gift that you really want to give to the world, and you need it to be perfected, and you don't want it to be crippled. You know, you want it to be the way that it's intended to be. So I hope that makes some sense to you. Maybe if you want to add to some of that, maybe Spirit will come along, and I'm going to ask for that guidance right now, for Spirit to come along, for God and God love to come along, and for your higher self to come along, and for collective consciousness to embrace you and come along and just help you, and maybe birth even more of this idea inside of yourself. See where maybe you have fallen short in the patience department, and also maybe kind of meditate on the idea that everything is in flux, everything changes, and maybe that delay means your dream is going to change for the better. So for the rest of this day, I'm going to wish you all the blessings that possibly could be given to you, and that is a lot. This universe has so much that has been given to us, gifted to us as people, and so I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the universe, for my guidance, for God who created me, and I'm grateful for you because you're a part of me and I'm a part of you. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of the day. And I am so loving you from here. Bye-bye.